We pushed off all the topsoil and now it's time to start digging in the gradle. I'm gonna be doing this, and I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried about how this is gonna go. This is a machine I have never run before. Now I know what you're thinking, hey Ost, you were an excavating contractor for 15 years. It's not gonna take you long to learn. It's not that simple. At quick glance, a gradle and an excavator look pretty similar, but they're very different machines. An excavator's boom has a big elbow in it. A gradle's is straight. An excavator's bucket digs one direction. A gradle's rotates. The controls to this machine, well, they're like the opposite controls of what I'm used to. Without boring you with the details, I'll just say this. In the machine world, there's a light side and a dark side, just like in Star Wars.
It's an energy field created by all living things.
ISO controls or SAE controls. Basically what that means is that these two joysticks in an ISO machine do the complete opposite thing of what an SAE machine does. It'd be like if suddenly the gas and brake pedal in your car reversed and you're driving down the highway at 60 miles an hour and you want to slam on the brakes. Things could end pretty badly. Today I have to join the dark side.
Join me and I will complete your training.
Today we are working on day 2 of the pond dig, and let me show you what we're going to be doing. So we're going to start digging with this gradle. I'm actually going to jump in. I'm going to learn how to run this thing. Never run a gradle. This is going to be a first. And we'll see how we do. All right, sounds good. Looks bright as a gradle operator. Okay, first impressions of this. I was hoping that this would not be too hard for me to make the leap over to cat controls. Basically, the levers are completely reversed as to what they're supposed to do. So what my subconscious brain knows from 15 years of running an excavator, but it's JCB controls, I have to like unlearn as I do this, and it hurts my brain. So, needless to say, not doing a great job here. Maybe I'll do better with the dozer. The first step of removing the topsoil from the pond location is complete. Now it's time to dig the core trench. We're going to be digging a core trench around the entire pond. Once it's dug, we will fill it with clay and compact it, but only if we can find clay, and so far that's been pretty challenging. There's mostly shale everywhere we're digging. Pray for clay. Slightly more bad news. This material does not look very clay-like. We're into a lot of shale, and shale means it's not going to hold water. Unless we find some clay soon, we're in trouble here. A buddy of mine who is an excavator operator told me a trick. I'm gonna try it. He said when you're going from JCB to cat controls, if you're used to holding your joysticks like this for JCB, go like this for cat. Let's see if it works. my brain hurts. This is kind of frustrating. I thought it was going to be like a real asset to the part of this project. I was an excavating contractor for 15 years. But throw me in a machine with cat controls that I've never run before. Oh, and I feel like I'm doing more harm than good here. I'm really glad we got Danny on the job here. All right, Danny showed me how to use this grade awl. You can see when he digs, very smooth edges, the curves he puts in this. Let's see if you can guess when I took over this trench. All right, so there's the trench. It's looking smooth. That's how that trench looks. Can you see where I took over? Well, if you guessed right there, you would be right. Definitely a newbie on this, but you gotta learn somehow, so I'm gonna learn the grade awl now. It's always good to learn new skills. At this point, I'm starting to feel pretty frustrated because I'm going so slow. Just one scoop is taking me so long to complete, and I'm starting to think that I'm doing more harm than good. It's funny how things work because just about that moment, this happened. Clay, baby! Wow, just hit a huge patch of clay. That is good to see. Oh yeah, beautiful. All right, I am thrilled. I've been digging shale, gravel, gravel, and then right here, do you see what I see? Oh yeah, beautiful clay. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist. If you ever played with Play-Doh as a kid, you know when you see it. This here, that back here, that light gray color, that is clay. So the second half of this pond has clay. This gravel and the shale, we can pack the areas with the gravel and the shale with the clay, seal up the pond, and hopefully not need to buy a liner or bentonite. Come on, pray for more clay. We need more, but this is a good sign. frustrated when I first got in this grade all. Opposite controls of what I'm used to. New machine, as it is, you're learning new stuff. But I'm glad I stuck through. I actually went and said to Danny, I was like, hey, I'm digging a pretty bad trench here. Am I hurting us more than I'm helping? And he said, no, you're doing good, keep going. I'm glad he did, because I'm getting the hang of it. And digging a lot quicker now. My trench is a lot smoother. And it's always good to learn new skills. That's why doing a project like this is so much fun. And you know, we've been working the same farm for the last almost 5 years now, doing the same animals for a long time. Getting good at stuff is great, but learning new things every so often, you just gotta throw yourself in the deep end of a pool or pond and learn something new. Go through that period of feeling like a dummy and wanting to give up, push through that. Feels good. Excavator, you better look out. I am liking this grade all. Danny told me it's his favorite. He said once you get used to it, you don't want to go back in an excavator. I didn't believe him. I'm starting to believe him. Okay, unfortunately, not such a great update here. Thought it would be about half of the pond that was clayed and half that wasn't, but it turns out it's only like maybe a quarter of the pond. As we started digging, it was coming up fast and we just ran out of clay. So, I'm gonna go looking for clay. This is where things get a little hairy. We found a really good patch this direction, so I'm gonna start digging this way and see if I can just excavate a lot of clay to use. If I can't, there's other spots that Danny feels we might find clay. Oh man, this is like a little scary. As we go looking further and further to find where the clay is on this property, it becomes pretty clear that the first spot we chose for the pond isn't the best spot. The further we dig towards the tree line you see in this video clip, the deeper the clay is. Unfortunately, this is a section of the property where there are still some standing trees. And on a property that's been pretty much stripped bare, we have a very strict do not knock down any more trees policy. So now we're at a crossroads. Dig the pond in the location where the most clay is. That's the most cost-effective way to do this. But knock over a few, we're talking about 5 out of like 7 remaining trees in this area, or leave the trees standing but have a much more expensive pond dig. What would you do? Keep the trees up but pay twice as much or more in expenses to move soil around the property, find clay, and repack the pond? Or drop 5 trees, keep digging, finish quicker, and spend less? I figured I better talk this one over with Kay. We know how she feels about trees. Hey babe, are you still at the vet? Oh, okay. All right, minute for brain power. The one half of this pond is just so much shale, and we have a little less clay in the other half than we hoped. So we can like go searching for clay all over this property and digging it up. We'll probably need to get a truck here, all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. We can buy bentonite, which is money, or I can push the pond over more towards where my blind is, maintain the same size. There's clay over there. It's really good clay going into that direction. Only downside to that, yep, there's 1 dead tree that would come down. There's 3 live trees that would come down. One of them is already broken in half. So we're talking about 2.5 live trees. All right, I figured that was the best choice. Okay, Joni, I know I hate cutting down trees, but we're not putting up a parking lot. We're putting in a pond. Think about how much adding a pond to this property is going to add life. Can you hear the dragonflies fly by your head? There'll be fish swimming through the water, frogs jumping into the pond as you approach. Honeybees will be able to stop and take a break to catch a drink on the pond's edge. In fact, all kinds of wildlife are going to come out of the wood line to take a sip from our pond. And of course, I'll be able to water all our livestock, which are going to be the key to regenerating this mountain of dirt that we're currently working on. It's a bummer to knock down these trees, but we will plant a lot more than we've cut down. And you're going to learn all about our tree plan in an upcoming episode in this series, so stay tuned. Okay, so today I was really excited. Day 2 digging was going to be like this. Get a ton done, awesome day. Did not turn out to be that way for 2 reasons. First off, as we dug deeper and deeper, we could see we are in the wrong spot for a pond. Where we were planning on putting the pond over here, it's all very shale, gravelly soil. At this end, where the end of the pond was going to be, we're just getting into good clay. So we've decided we're going to move into the clay. We're not going to fight the ground, we're going to work with it. So the whole pond had to move over, which means about half of the work we've done so far, well, didn't really have to do it because we don't really have to dig here. The other frustrating thing that ate up half a day today, I had a breakdown. I really am enjoying that Great All. It's an awesome machine and been working really good until it broke down today. So, got to get a mechanic out, take a look at it, see what's wrong with this thing. It's frustrating. 2 days, 2 breakdowns, first my car, now the Great All. But this is par for the course. This is part of the adventure of cutting out your life on a raw piece of land. So if I let day 2's breakdown get me down, there's no way I'll survive this entire project. I'm excited we found good clay. We could have found no clay. So the fact we got some good clay, got some nice topsoil down here, gonna actually wind up pushing off the topsoil where the pond's going, move it into the corner over there. We're gonna start planting pasture. We're already gonna improve this property. So a couple little setbacks, 2 steps backward, 1 step forward, but we took a step forward. This is our first pond dig ever, but it's not our first big farm project. A couple years back, we did a major project to our barn that improved drainage, water for animals. We put automatic waterers in. If you want to learn a lot about infrastructure and improving your farm, start this playlist. You can enjoy it just like you're enjoying this dig because we covered day by day all the happenings and taught you along the way how to install frost-free hydrants, automatic waterers, livestock heavy traction pads, and more. Check it out.